I didn't get the chance to meet Raj Kapoor, my grandfather. I was born after he passed away, but my mom spent a lot of time with him. I mean, they were very, very close. Mostly watching the Joker and the circus on like repeat on TV, and I thought for the longest time that my grandfather was a circus clown or a Joker. Probably the first time I went to a film set, I must have been 12 or 13, which was pretty late.
I think similarities between the Chopra family and the Kapoor family, I would just say, but I think that kind of legacy, I don't think we've seen much in the world, honestly.
Reema, I think my mom.
Okay.
And Kareena. No, actually, sorry, all of them. Ranbir actually just sits down before everything. Honestly, the previous generation, I think Ranbir uncle. Uncle, and this generation, I think Adar.
Who's most likely to first take pictures of the food and then eat? Or not let anybody eat till they've clicked pictures?
All of them, Kareena, Karishma, literally all of them.
So we had cameras all around, kind of capturing all the moments, but there was no like, okay, now everybody talk about this, or everybody do this, or everybody do that. We really tried to make it feel as natural as possible.
We want to invite the audience to our table and really be part of our lives and our family.
Hi, I'm Smriti Mundhra. I'm on Fever FM with Stuti.
Hi, I'm Armaan Jain. I'm with Stuti on Fever FM.
Hi guys, I'm Stuti. I really thought I'll sit here with my dinner plate, but dinner's done. I'm not the Kapoor here. I have an early dinner, but we are here with the ones who are going to give us a sumptuous serving of what really happens at a Kapoor dining table. I have with me Smriti Mundhra and Armaan Jain. How are you doing, guys?
Very well. Thank you for having us.
Listen, I have to ask you this. How much of footage have you guys edited out? Because this looks like a lot of fun, a lot of free-flowing conversation, reactions, expressions. So I'm more interested in the stuff that you guys decided to edit out.
I'll let Smriti take the question.
In any documentary or docu-special, docu-reality, so much gets left, on the cutting room floor, and it's like really challenging to condense everything into the 60 minutes that this film is. So it really feels like something people can have their own family meal and watch immediately after as dessert, maybe. But there's just so much. I mean, there's just endless fun to be had observing with cameras this family and so many members coming together and all of their unexpected combinations. They all have their little side and their side what do you call that, like inside jokes and stories and anecdotes and things like that. So yeah, there was a lot, unfortunately, that we had to take out, but I do think we preserved the best of the best. That really gives you a feeling of being at the table with the family. But there's only so many times you can hear Ranbir tell a story about ghee, so he maybe left a few of those out. Yeah.
Armaan, want to draw you into the conversation now. I want to compliment you on the food. Made me very, very hungry. And I think it was really adorable when you spoke about how you are jealous of the fact that you couldn't spend as much time with Raj Kapoor as probably your other cousins, and just the attachment that you feel. I think that came through beautifully, and that bit about your mom getting a little emotional at what's happening around. This is, of course, a legacy that we are celebrating, but with it comes a lot of expectations. Talk to me about the growing up years when you probably had no idea about what you really want to do, or did you? I want to understand what was going in the mind of young Armaan about what he wanted to do when he would grow up.
Sure. So I'll take this question. I mean, to begin with, I didn't get the chance to meet Raj Kapoor, my grandfather. I was born after he passed away, but my mom spent a lot of time with him. I mean, they were very, very close. So whatever I know of him, I know through her, through the cinema that she showed me growing up, and that cinema was mostly watching the Joker and the circus on like repeat on TV, and I thought for the longest time that my grandfather was a circus clown or a Joker. So we weren't. I mean, I'll be honest with you, growing up we were not really exposed to the film world. I also come from a business family. My dad's from the business world, finance world. So very normal childhood, normal upbringing. very far removed actually from films. So probably the first time I went to a film set, I must have been 12 or 13, which was pretty late. I can't recall a memory unless I went on a film set. So for me, I think it was just a natural, it took a natural course to kind of be like, okay, I do want to get into films and cinema when I was probably, I guess 14 or 15. And growing up, you first look at, I mean, at 14 or 15, you really don't think too much about the process and the work behind it. So for me at that point, I was okay, it's glamorous, it's easy to be, you can probably go there and try to kind of become an actor, but then when you really go through the grind and then you realize, okay, there's a lot of work here, and understand what really goes behind the scene. There's a lot of work, and I tried my best to kind of obviously act. I gave it 5 or 6 years of my honest time, which didn't work out. But those years after I was 18, I spent a lot of time in production direction. So I'm blessed. Those 3 years really helped me kind of, this is the first time I'm producing a film, first time I'm show running it, a part of it. So I think life comes a full circle where I did get the opportunity, and obviously Netflix have been tremendous partners in trusting us to make this film come alive. So yeah, I mean, it was just a normal childhood, and like I said, my childhood was just food, and family, and I saw more food, family than cinema growing up, and I think the intent was very clear, and I think it makes sense today to me why we're making this film, and that's something I've seen all my life.
Amazing. Smriti, before this, we've seen the Romantics that you made, and that's also the Chopras, again, a family that breathes films, okay? So in that sense, Kapoor's food, films, Yash Chopra and his family. I want you to tell me what are the similarities and something that is very different between these two families.
I think similarities between the Chopra family and the Kapoor family, I would just say loyalty to each other, loyalty to the family unit, and the legacy of the sort of matriarchs and patriarchs of the family, and real reverence. Similar, like Adi had such reverence, and they have such reverence for their father, and their mother. And similarly, Armaan and, all of the Kapoors have such reverence for Raj Kapoor and Prithvi Raj Kapoor and all of the, the previous generations, and not only what they achieved, but their values. So I think that's something that is really common, with these families. Which was really touching for me, to see how much respect that they had for their elders, frankly. Differences, I would just say, it's rare to see a family like the Kapoor family that is so many generations of people at the top of their industry, so many generations. I think going on now, maybe depending on where the kiddos go, maybe into a fifth generation. But I think that kind of legacy, I don't think we've seen much in the world, honestly. People talk about the Barrymores and the Redgraves and, this and that. But Kapoors, I think, maybe even have a longer history, in film and cinema than even some of the biggest families we think of in Hollywood and things like that. So I just think that sort of dynastic feel of the family, but also their connection to each other all across generations. I think is really something that's rare to see in the film industry, and was really, really a breath of fresh air.
Very cool. Okay, a quick rapid fire. We want you to tell us which Kapoor is more likely to. Okay, so who's most likely to start eating before everyone even sits down at the table?
Reema, I think, my mom.
Okay.
And Kareena. No, actually, sorry, all of them. Ranbir actually just sits down before everything. He just sits before the food is out.
I would say Reema auntie and Kareena. Reema auntie and Kareena, if we're going to be honest.
I love this answer. Okay, who's most likely to turn a simple dinner into a full-blown Bollywood storytelling session?
None.
Are you kidding? No way. I would say, well, again, Reema auntie, who has like endless stories of everybody. But then right there, like participating would be, I would say, from my perspective, just from what I've observed, Kareena and Ranbir. And they contribute all the little masala, to the stories. So
love it. Okay, who's most likely to show up fashionably late, even for dinner at home?
I think I'll take that, because I get cursed by the family at times saying, why the hell have you come late? But I come with a lot of food. I cook a lot of food and I arrive with a lot of food, so then they're happy with me.
That's Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Who's most likely to be the most well-dressed person at a regular home dinner? Who's going to
Lolo, charisma for sure.
charisma? Okay. Okay. Who's most likely to notice if a recipe tastes a little different from the usual? Who's perceptive of things like this? Observes it.
I think Karina.
Yeah, she'd be the one to point it out. Who's most likely to roast another family member lovingly but savagely at dinner?
Honestly, the previous generation, I think Randhir uncle.
Oh,
Randhir
yeah.
uncle, and this generation, I think Adar.
Okay, who's most likely to first take pictures of the food and then eat? Or not let anybody eat till they've clicked pictures?
All of them, Karina, Charisma, literally all of them.
Yeah, they'll first for the gram.
First the food, all the pictures.
I would say though, I think who was the least happy with the plated food? Maybe was it Bebo? Who was the least like? Why is all this plated?
Plated food, yeah, but the phones come out first and then everything.
First, yeah, for the gram for sure. But then actually, when it's time to eat, some people were like,
Oh, then the
"Why is
phones
this
are
so
away."
fancy?" Yeah. No.
And they want like the whole feast, no fancy.
Exactly.
Sab
They
love
didn't-
it, sir.
Yeah. Armaan really tried with the plating and the courses and everything to make everything nice and classy.
I know,
for the
but
family.
eventually it was,
I
it
tried
was
to be very
passing.
fancy for once, which is not what the Kapoors are, but didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a great cook, but apart from you, which other Kapoor is great with cooking food?
In this family, they love to eat. But a lot of people don't cook. They can order well, they host well. Saif cooks very well. I actually really enjoy my
Yeah.
time with him in the kitchen. So when we go over, I spend a lot of time with him in the kitchen, and great conversation, great food. Zahan's a very good chef. So at Christmas lunches, he's always, carving his meats and putting a show together for everyone. And that's also generational for them. It's something he learned from his dad and grandfather.
Amazing. Smriti and Armaan, my final question to both of you. This was such an intimate setting, right? You almost feel like you're there, fly on the wall, watching the Kapoors eat, talk, be all animated. I want to understand, how did you shoot this? How long did it take? Was it really a single day shoot where they were eating? Did they all really eat, or was anybody on diet? Like, spill those little secrets about how you shot that.
It was a one-day shoot, and honestly, I think for the most part, it really approximated the all of the beats of a standard, Kapoor gathering. So it was, from what I learned from Armaan and talking to the other members of the family, that when they all meet for a meal, it's like almost like a half day. They just sit and they eat and they talk and they have another, helping and then dessert and so it really is a long, luxurious affair, and that's pretty much how we shot it. Besides the little bit of extra touches that Armaan did with the food and the plating and the courses, and that we did with some of the surprises at the lunch. We wanted very deliberately for it to play out like a pretty typical family lunch or family meal, and then we really just wanted everyone. Didn't want so much fuss of the cameras, so everyone could really be themselves, So we had cameras all around, kind of capturing all the moments, but there was no like, okay, now everybody talk about this, or everybody do this, or everybody do that. We really tried to make it feel as natural as possible, and I think we achieved
The
that. Right?
conversation just was flowing the way it was. There were no
The
talk
number
points.
one thing everyone said, at the end of the day was, we forgot the cameras were even there, and make sure. Be careful what I
Literally
said
everyone.
on camera, because I forgot the cameras were there.
Yeah, no, it was just so candid, so real. Everything, it played out the way we would have been together in our homes. And yeah, I mean, the only like Smriti said, the only bit of planning was what a chef would do or a cook would do and a planner would do in any party, or if you're hosting someone. So it played out beautifully, and it was so much fun.
So what is it that you hope to achieve with this? With these intimate small details about your family out. What is it that you wish for now?
So the thing is, like I said, traditionally and culturally, for us as a family, we've always had a very open house culture when it comes to food. Whether it was the RK Ganpatis, whether it was Holi, certain festivals, a lot I've heard of, I've not been part of because I was too young and probably not born. I think that culture and those traditions have transcended, multiple generations. So we want to invite the audience to our table and really be part of our lives and our family, and that's something that we have done, for so many years, and we just hope like whoever watches this film is actually sitting on the dining table with us, eating with us, taking back those stories that I'm sure they all witness within their own families, and have fun with it, laugh with it, cry with it, and yeah, that's all that I aspire to kind of achieve with this.
Amazing. All the best. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time, Armaan and Smriti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.